All right, here by popular demand is a guide to the maintenance program, or the maintenance phase of your program. So we're going to get a little bit more specific, but you have to keep in mind that everyone is different and everyone's going to react differently, etc. So as a basis for this guide, what I'm going to recommend that you do is buy this book called Dirty Genes from Dr. Ben Lynch. Yes, it's about genetics, but it's also about, treating root causes of illness, root causes of diseases, etc. And Dr. Lynch actually goes into really detailed stuff about your genes. But if you look at his clean and scrub dietary protocol, it's very similar to what you've already done by going through our program. So basically what he's backing me up on here, and there's a link that you can buy his book right here in the description, is what you've done for yourself by going through this program. You didn't just do this because you lost weight. You didn't just do this because you feel better. If you really read what's in this book, you actually did this and you feel better because you've actually cleaned up your own genes and you're getting yourself going in the right direction for lifelong health. So the last thing we want to do is to mess that up. So, and even if we do mess it up, there's ways of getting back. So let's understand the new normal, okay? First and foremost, yes, this is pretty low key. I've just got this on a Word doc here, but I'm going to create a PDF out of this, like you said. We've got to acknowledge the fact that your body is now different than it was. When we first met, I told you about your medications, that I couldn't tell you to take them or not take them, that you're going to have to go to your doctor, whoever prescribed them, to change dosages because they're weight dependent. Hey, that's important. Hey, it's important because your body's different. You're going to respond differently. You've healed your gut, and you got to just look at things differently. Now you got to really tune into your body and listen to your hunger signals. Are you hungry? Are you actually hungry? Are you just craving something? Because if you're craving something, chances are you're going to go eat that, whatever that is. You'll feel better short term, but in the long term, it's not going to. It's not going to get you closer to your goal. So pay attention to what your body's telling you. If you're going to have a lazy day, you don't eat as much. If you're going to have an activity full day or something upcoming, you might eat a little bit more, etc. So just pay attention to that. The 4, 4, and 4 thing no longer applies, although it's a really good idea. So if you stuck to that 4, 4, and 4 80% of the time, and then just kind of went off of how you feel, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So I used to tell people when they started with us that once they're through their program, if you live by an 80-20 rule, by that what I mean is you eat clean 80% of the time or at 90% of the time, and save the 20 to 10% of the time for being quote unquote normal, that things are going to work out for you. I don't feel that way anymore. The more I learn, the more I study, the more I read, I'm like, wow, we are really messing ourselves up when we indulge in those family parties, Christmas parties. Hey, so I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it really does do damage beyond what you can actually feel. And every time you do that, you're gonna have to get some work to get back on track. So if you did this program and you were expecting just to be able to go back to eating standard American diet, you're gonna be disappointed, because standard American diet is gonna put that weight back on. But if you stick through a few principles that we're going to share with you, I think you're going to be much, much happier. So here are some things to live by. Hey, go organic. The reason why you want to do this, and hopefully you've been doing this all along, and I should be saying stay organic, is you want to minimize your exposure to chemicals that they put in the food. Hey, we're coming up on crop duster season. You see all these stuff they spray on the crops. It was never intended for human consumption. We're told all glyphosate's fine. It's not going to, they're now suing the makers of glyphosate because it causes cancer and so forth. But you got to go organic just to minimize the amount of toxins that you're putting in your body. I get the organic is more expensive. We have found that it's actually cheaper to buy organic at natural grocers. But if you go to Environmental Working Group, and I've left a link in here, if you go to their website, they do something called the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen is basically 12 things that you should definitely buy organic, like strawberries, apples, etc. And then they have what they call the Clean 15, or 15 fruits and vegetables that you don't necessarily need to buy organic because they're farmed, the way they're farmed is clean. So it's okay in the maintenance phase to bring back all the fruit that we talked about before: bananas, pineapples, mangoes, and grapes. Go ahead and eat those. Get them organic. You can bring back things like wild rice. I would not do it white rice or brown rice. I definitely would not do enriched rice, but if you want to stick to like an organic wild rice, that's awesome. Quinoa, same thing. If you want to do an organic quinoa, we have some here. We eat it all the time. So things like that are great. So as far as like desserts are concerned, then go ahead and I modified that as we talk. I'm editing as I talk. So go with dessert, go ahead and experiment with some of those paleo options that are out there. Search for paleo dessert ideas. Follow those, but keep it to a minimum, maybe just on Sundays. And there's a lot of actual yummy stuff out there that you're gonna really like. Okay, so number 2, sticking with number 1, potatoes. Go ahead and bring them back. I would stick to the organic ones. Same thing with carrots and peas. I'm still on the fence about corn. Your body just doesn't digest it. I don't think there's such thing as GMO corn, non-GMO corn. So I'm throwing that out there. So number 2, continue to intermittent fast. I would stay on a window that's a minimum of 12 hours. 12 hours fasting, 12-hour feeding. For example, today I got home late last night. Dinner wasn't until 9 o'clock, so I waited till 9 o'clock this morning to eat. Normally I'll do about 16. There's tons and tons of health benefits from doing that. I would stick to that. I would not change that. Hey, so it's not only going to help you with health benefits, but also it's going to help you with your grocery bill. And look at this. I'm going to keep editing this thing as we go because the numbers are wrong. Number 3, prioritize whole foods. By staying away from the processed foods, you're keeping away from a lot of toxins and things that we just don't want to put in our body. For example, a lot of processed foods contain folic acid. If you read Ben Lynch's book, Folic Acid is a Metabolic Nightmare. It's vitamin B9. Folic acid is a fake form that basically occupies your receptor sites and makes it so you can't actually use the real form, which is called folate. So just little things like that, just staying away from processed foods. You're going to stay away from those in general. Number 4, you want to balance your macronutrients. Each one of your meal, make sure you're having a protein, a fat, and a carb, just to make sure everything's balanced there. And number 5, watch your micronutrients. Eating organic does help with getting micronutrients from your food, but you do want to watch those. And then number 6, of course, is to stay hydrated. If you keep on that at least 64 ounces of water per day, your body's going to be much, much healthier, much, much happier doing that. So remember, lifestyle does matter. We can do all the diet that we want, but if we're not sleeping, if we're not exercising, if we're not getting regular physical activity and managing our stress, it's all really for naught, because you're just going to put yourself back to where you were. So take all these things that you've learned from us, continue, stay part of our group. I've yet to kick anybody out, but we're here to help you. So it doesn't need to be difficult. Just stick to the things that we've taught you, and we'll keep plugging away and sharing more and more information. You guys are the best. We really appreciate you. Make sure you download, you print this, stick it on your fridge, and use it as a reference. And let me know if you have questions, if there's anything we can help you with. So thank you. See you guys next time.